What's up, Godzilla fans? Godzilla54 here, and today I'm here to do a video, and today's video is actually on Godzilla 2016. So, I don't think I've actually ever done a video specifically for Godzilla 2016, but this is kind of more of an expectation type video, what I want to see from Godzilla 2016, what I hope to see and stuff like that. So, just a bunch of cool stuff. Now, there's no real kind of list, however many I kind of list off the top of my head. I'll probably just put it in the title of the video, you know, like, let's say I say 8, I'll put top 8, whatever, you know. Anything I can really think of. But, real quick, though, I do want to mention that a new kind of teaser was released for the Godzilla 2016 film by Toho, and I'll put it up right here, or wherever, really, but, yeah, it looks very cool, looks very interesting, and I say interesting because I have it on my computer here, and if you notice, first of all, when I first saw this, I was like, wow. They're going for a more slender-looking Godzilla. Because Godzilla, like, let me see. This guy here. You see, his toes aren't that spread out. They're more bulky, you know? Kind of like that. I do also have the GMK, but GMK is just way too big. But this one is very spread out. It looks very slender. So it kind of looks like maybe a more slender Godzilla. Also, something I saw a little interesting. They have that little toe right there, which to me, it just looks a little, weird. You know, it's a little kind of, really, or not really, but, because I know 2014 has weird toes, but just kind of like, whoa, you know, like, is it really needed? Because it even looks like, you know, they just have the whole foot, and they were like, maybe we should just add this in there. So, I don't know, it looks interesting, I guess you can say. But, yeah, so now let's actually get on to the list. The first thing I can really think of is I want to see another monster, basically. Now, I know a lot of people have been saying, oh, we want a solo film, we want a solo film. And we might get it, but you guys also gotta remember that 1954, that was really the only solo film. Now, 1984, that was a solo film, No Other Monster. But we did have this kind of, what I count as kind of a versus movie, because it's not the military, you know? It's this new weapon that they took a long time for. So if you want to say, like, Mechagodzilla is a versus movie, then the Super X could be too. Because they're both inanimate objects, only Mechagodzilla is modeled after Godzilla. So really, it is a versus movie. And the reason why I say that is because you can't really have a whole series, and I'll get on this later, but if you think about it, all these superheroes movies, why are they so popular? Because it's easy to carry a story with a hero. And Godzilla, I want him to be kind of an anti-hero, but I'll get more on that too. But it's just hard to carry a film series, that is, when you have a villain. That's why you haven't really seen any villain movies, you know, lately, for superhero kind of stuff like that. We're gonna get Suicide Squad, you know, stuff like that, and we're gonna get the Sinister 6, I think, coming out pretty soon by Sony. But, you know, it's just that you really got to try to, you know, think, like, this is going to be a little hard, you know? So I think it would be smart to have another monster for him to battle. And the monster battles, I just expect it to be awesome. I really want a lot of awesome carnage and chaos. It would be really cool. I kind of want an original monster, too, you know? That'd be interesting. But if they want to go generic, kind of like Ghidorah or something like that, I would be okay with it, just as long as they add something new to him like they usually always did. Alright, for the next one, I chose a film series. Now, I want it to spawn a new series because, basically, 1954 started a new series, 84 started a new series, and stuff like that, and, you know, the Godzilla 2000 started a new series, so all these films have started a new series. For Godzilla, you have Showa, Heisei, and Millennium. Now, I want this one to be another series too, and that's what I bring up with the good guy thing. It's hard to make a movie series with a villain, and I know some of you might be like, not really, but really think about it. It really is, because it would be kind of the old same thing again, over and over and over again, because you have you know, Godzilla coming up from the ocean, and he attacks the city. That's the first film. And he could die, or if you want to make a film series, then just go back into the ocean. Next one, go back into the, you know, rise up from the ocean. Same thing again, you know? So it's going to be a little harder. And he has to stay a villain if people want that. If people want him to stay a villain, there can't be another monster because that's going to be an anti-hero situation then. You know, kind of like Godzilla 2000. So it's going to be harder to do that. It's going to be harder to make stories around that. So I think it would only be smarter if he was kind of an anti-hero, you know? And I want it to spawn a film series. Now for the film series, I want it to be at least 4 films, let's say, you know? Because the shortest film series, the Millennium, had Godzilla 2000, Megaguirus, GMK, Godzilla against Mechagodzilla, Tokyo SOS, and Final Wars. Now that's 6 films. If we can at least get 4 films out of this, I think that would be perfect, because we have the Legendary series, which we are going to be getting, you know, we're going to get 2 more films, which is awesome still. So a film series is also what I'm looking forward to. So basically, for my next one, I want him to be an anti-hero, because like I said, it's so much easier. And I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it, but like I said, it would be more interesting kind of stories, more interesting kind of scripts and stuff like that. So yeah. Alright, so now for the next one also, I really want it to be kind of CGI, kind of suit thing, you know? Because I do know that the director of the Gamera trilogy, or the special effects kind of director of the Gamera trilogy, which looked awesome by the way, or was he only the director of number 3? I forget. But he's on in the film, and he also directed their special effects for GMK, and those looked fantastic, you know, you gotta admit. And I really want them to utilize CGI and suits. Now, which one would outweigh the other? I think, honestly, it would be the CGI, because the suits are practical effects, I should say, because maybe they won't be suits. The practical effects, though, because if you guys remember in Pacific Rim, that little kind of Newton ball scene, where they're fighting in that Chinese place, the big city, and Gypsy punches through that building, the little Newton set, that looks like CGI, but it's actually practical effects. So it really shows you, though, how much it can look realistic, you know? So I think that's another big point that they should focus on. Also, for the whole CGI thing, I've heard people say, like, oh, I don't care if it looks, you know, cheesy, I don't care if people say, oh, it looks fake. Well, we don't care because we've gotten used to it, but Toho cares because this is money they're putting into it, and they don't want people, you know, watching the trailer and be like, okay, you know, like, that looks bad, that looks cheesy, that looks fake, I'm just gonna go on. You know, they don't want that. They want an audience, and I'm gonna be honest, Toho's a little greedy. I'm gonna be honest here. Toho's a little greedy, and to that point, I really have to say that they are going to do what is best for the film. And whether that is suits or CGI, I think a majority of it should be CGI. And the practical effects suits or whatever should be like the little kind of scenes, you know, like the Gypsy Danger scene. Or in Godzilla 1984, they have the big animatronic. They could utilize something like that. Or like another great film to compare it to, actually, Jurassic Park, because Jurassic Park actually did it so perfectly, a blend of suit and CGI, or not suit, animatronic and CGI. I would be perfect with an animatronic Godzilla too, because if you remember the scene in Jurassic Park, they have the animatronic T-Rex head, nudges the Ford Explorer with the, you know, animatronic, and then CGI walks away. It's like they utilize it, they blend it so well together, and you can't really tell the difference either, you know? Because I was, like, I remember watching special features behind the scene, and I was like, wow, that was an animatronic, you know? I thought that was CGI, but whatever, you know? Alright, so now for the next one, and I want it to have a good toy line, too. Now, I know that kind of sounds ridiculous, but really, if you think about it, like, all my collection back there, the Bandai, you know, Japan and stuff like that, I really want a good series out of this, a good toy line series. Not like the 2014 one, where it's kind of, you know, you can see them up there, where it's kind of like cheapy kind of stuff. No, like, I want a good toy line, you know? So that's gonna really be it. Alright, for the next one, I want good characters. Good characters, I think, is a piece that Godzilla films, the Japanese ones, have been missing for a long time, really. It doesn't really catch your attention. I really want good characters in this film. I don't care who they are. I heard Toho's also outsourcing and stuff like that. That's great. That's old news, though. But really, good characters, and that's it. And for the final one, I want Godzilla to be menacing. Now, the Godzilla 2014 Godzilla wasn't exactly menacing. He looked awesome, but he wasn't menacing. I want Godzilla to be like this snarling beast, you know? Like the GMK one, that's a perfect example. I want him to be that, but also, I want to be able to see the good inside of him, too. You know, in the beginning, he could be this snarling beast, he could be evil, mass destruction. This creature arises, he has to fight it. And in the end, you see that, you know, underneath Godzilla, he's an anti-hero, you know? So you're kind of like, at first, oh my gosh, he's scary. And towards the end, you're like, wow, you know, he's pretty cool, you know? So, that's basically my list, though, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching, though. Please rate, comment, subscribe, give big thumbs up, and enjoy this video. Tell me if you guys agree or not, and tell me if you guys are excited for the Godzilla 2016 movie. Tell me what you also want to see down below. But, yeah, that's basically it, guys. But thank you guys so much for watching again, and Godzilla 5400 out.